Okay, this is part 2 of the solving two-step notes, and we've got down to the more practice section. I want you guys to try each of these and go ahead and pause the video, and then after you try each of these, I'm just going to have my work and the answers so you can check. When we flip over to the back, I'll do more detailed explanations. So go ahead and pause the video right here, and then when you're ready, click play, and I'll show the answers. All right, here is the work and the answers to the front side. Now on these first two, you notice these were just one step because there was no coefficient, there was nothing to divide out. So if you get them, when they're mixed in like that, don't freak out. Once you get to wherever your x is equal to a number, you're done. If you want to check it, just go back and plug it in. -5, I plugged in for x, so -5 plus 3, and it equals -2. Now, I'm going to flip over to the back page, and we're going to do the same steps. This time we're going to have dividing. Now, when we look at the first few problems here, these all have either a fraction or a division sign. Now, just like on the other side, the inverse of addition is subtraction. The inverse of division is multiplication, and I'm going to use the dot to show that. Now, when you get a fraction, just like on yesterday's paper, like this one has a fraction coefficient, this has a fraction coefficient, you're going to cancel out that coefficient by multiplying by the reciprocal. And remember, reciprocal means it's that fraction flipped. Let's look at the first one. This says x divided by 3 plus 10 equals 15. Well, just like on the other one, our first step, we want to get all of our numbers to this other side and our x by itself. So let's move that 10 first. So -10, and we get x divided by 3 is equal to 5. Now from here, I have some number x divided by 3, and it equals 5. So I want to cancel that divide by 3. So I'm going to multiply by 3. Do the same thing to both sides. Those cancel, and I get x is equal to 15. Now, when you have a fraction, like in this next one, first, we're still going to move our numbers to the other side. You deal with the you deal with the number with x last. Just treat it the same way you did the coefficient on the other side. Do this number first. So the opposite of positive 13 or plus 13 is minus 13. Subtract it on this side. Those cancel, and we get -1/2 x is equal to -4. Now from here, what you want to do is, since we have a fraction as our coefficient, we're going to multiply by the reciprocal, which means flip it. So we're going to multiply times -2/1. Multiply this side times -2/1. When you do that, they cancel, and then you just multiply the other side out. So -4 times -2 is positive 8/1, which reduces down to 8. Now, I ran out of room on this one, but you're basically going to do it the same way. Move your 5 first. Those cancel, and we'll get 2/3 x is equal to 12. And then multiply by the reciprocal. So multiply by 3/2. 3/2. They're going to cancel out right there. This is going to be x is equal to 12 times 3, which is 36/2. That does simplify. 36 divided by 2 is equal to 18. And then try these, more practice on your own. I'll show the answers after we get these examples down. When you have subtraction, it's just like on the other side. The opposite of that is addition. And then when you have division, opposite of that is multiply. When you have a fraction coefficient, you're going to multiply by the reciprocal. It is just like the box we just finished. The only difference is now these have subtract signs. So let's add 5 to get rid of that. Subtract 5. x/2 is equal to now -4. Multiply both sides by 2, and we get x is equal to negative 8. Now, on the next one, we have a fraction. So we're going to multiply by the reciprocal when we get to that step. But the first thing is we need to get our solo numbers, our numbers that don't have a letter, all on one side. So we're going to add 2, boom, those cancel, bring everything down. So that's going to be 9 is equal to 3 over 2x. Now we're going to multiply, since we have a fraction, multiply by that reciprocal. So multiply by 2 over 3. Multiply by 2 over 3. Do the same thing on that side. These will cancel, and I'll get x is equal to 9 times 2, which is 18, over 3. 18 divided by 3 simplifies down to 6. So if you get a fraction and it can simplify, go ahead and simplify it. In our last one, we have a negative. Remember, the opposite of a negative is positive. So you're going to do plus 8. Those cancel. We'll get negative 1/3 x is equal to 10. From here, multiply by the reciprocal. So flip negative 1/3, it becomes negative 3 over 1. When I multiply by that, these fractions cancel. What I do to one side, I do to the other. So times negative 3 over 1. So x would equal 10 times negative 3, which is negative 30 over 1. Negative 30 divided by 1 is just negative 30. Go ahead and pause the video right here. I'm going to work out these more practice, and then you can check your answer. So please pause now. And here are the answers. Go ahead and check with the work you've got. If you have any questions, or if you catch that I made a mistake, let me know in the comments or send me a message on Google Classroom. Next part of the video is going to be part 3, and we'll get through the bottom part of these notes.